Hello and welcome to Samurai 101. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I don't think a lot of people understand the potential of samurai and how samurai should be played. And in this video, I just want to break down all the build that I'm currently using. And well, for me, it's the definitive build for samurai, the perks that I'm taking, some combat techniques, and also the playstyle that I'm doing. So first things first, let's go to the modified class. For my legendaries, I use Thunderous Katana, and the rest I just use Epic. And another one of my legendaries is Blade of the Mountains. And notice the trend here regarding enemy staggered damage. Now, enemy staggered damage is so strong that you can stack it up to most of the samurai's melee weapons. Since his melee weapons got the katana, the dual katana, yari, and the odachi, you can pretty much stack a lot of those enemy stagger damage. And another thing that is really strong right now is Samurai's Honor. With Samurai's Honor, you can stack up to two properties of enemy staggered damage. And the funny thing about Samurai's Honor is that the first property has the higher number than legendary enemy staggered damage, the stats, I mean. So in legendary weapons, the enemy staggered damage is around 28%, whereas as you can see in Samurai's Honor, on the first property, the enemy staggered damage reaches up to 30%. And if you stack it up with another enemy staggered damage, so essentially you can have like 20 another 28 double 28% um, enemy staggered damage percentage. So since 30 and 24, the median of that is like 28. So yeah, and let's see the enemy staggered damage on this one, 30%, and the alternative status for this is all melee damage. But I highly recommend using enemy staggered damage because it's really strong. Another thing that I want to highlight about my build is all melee damage. Notice that my katana has katana damage instead of all melee damage. The reason being is because I prefer to use katana, and it would be wise for you to focus on one weapon to deal damage, and preferably the legendary one. And I feel like I use katana more than any other weapon. While I do use the dual katana just against like poles and whatnot, but once they are staggered, I tend to switch to my katana to deal damage. And also, Poison Blade. Poison Blade is a strong perk, weapon perk for Samurai. The reason being is because right now, Blade of Mountains got buffed where if you execute people, you gain health as well. And that's what we're trying to capitalize on. That's why all of my melee weapons got Poison Blade. And I also need to note that we don't get Kusarigama because, as you can see in the passive for Samurai, allows the use of all melee weapons, including the Kusarigama. But the note here states that the Kusarigama doesn't use a gear slot, so you can't really have a slot for Kusarigama, which makes sense because Kusarigama mostly focuses on assassination damage, so I don't really mind that. And katana damage on my katana, all melee damage on my other melee weapons, and also concussion bomb and Metsubushi. That's another gear that I want to highlight. Why am I using these two? I know it doesn't really like I rarely use them as my samurai, and the Metsubushi with Pestilence is pretty clutch at sometimes, and the cooldown is only 25 seconds, which is not bad at all. But yeah, the reason why I chose Concussion Bomb and Metsubushi is because Concussion Bomb is the only range weapon that has all melee damage property. As for the second property, it's up to you whether you want to pick Spirit Move damage or Ultimate damage or Ultimate gain. It's totally up to you. I do have to state that my build right here is my own definitive build for Samurai. Doesn't mean that you the viewer, can't change it up if you want to. Like I said before, with the concussion bomb and the Metsubushi, it's up to you whether you want to change the spirit move damage into something else like um, ultimate damage or thrown weapon damage or perfect parry window or ultimate gain or all range damage. It's totally up to you, but the second alternative that I would pick, for me personally at least, is ultimate damage. Because, I'd like to bank on damage more than anything. Since Samurai got buffed, his spirit gain is really good every time he breaks a stance for the enemies. Every time he breaks an enemy's stance and stagger them, he gains extra resolve and extra ultimate gain. That's the thing that's makes him really strong, basically. And moving on to the perks, but yeah, you guys can follow this layout. You can follow this build format. But if you, like I said before, if you want to change things up, be my guest. This is your. I'm just showcasing what I like to use. As for the techniques and perks, um, again, this is a matter of choice in terms of the class ability. Spirit Pole, what I noticed about the Spirit Pole is that it's really strong because it stacks with all melee damage and enemy staggered damage. So if you stagger an enemy and you use the Spirit Pole, the enemy who got staggered tend to die more quickly than those who are not staggered. And on top of that, it increases your melee damage. But I also like to use Raging Flame from time to time because the Raging Flame bypasses all of the blocks of the enemies. So you can just keep on doing light attacks, or if you want, you can just keep doing the dual katana focus attacks, or even better, use the Kusarigama focus attack where you just wail your ball and chain around and it hits multiple enemies, and it's really good to gain ultimate using this class ability. As for my perk number one, like I said before, I like to bank on damage, which is, well, melee damage is a no-brainer here since you get 15% melee damage. But I do notice that some people like to use increased melee staggered damage as well, which stacks with the Relentless passive ability for Samurai, which is the 15% increased melee stagger damage. But that's, like I said before, it's a matter of choice. I like to bank on the melee damage, but if you feel like staggering enemies is more important, then be my guest and use the increased melee stagger damage. As for ability cooldown, I do notice that Samurai's ability is not that long, especially after the buff. So I wouldn't pick this one unless you want to make a build for Samurai like Fire Master build where you can pop your class ability, specifically the Raging Flame ability, again and again. As for my perk number 2, I like to use Weapon Insight. The reason being is that since I'm using a legendary katana, I like to use the focus attack more. So if I'm fighting against like a berserker, for instance, berserkers use odachis, and odachi is weak against katana, and maybe fallen lords as well. The fallen lords sometimes they use the sword. They can switch up whether it's sword, odachi, kusarigama, or yari. They can switch between those weapons, which is no problem as long as you can focus attack them, and it'll be really good to stagger them quickly. But parry damage is also, I guess, well, it's really good if you stack it with the legendary charm, the Samurai's Bracers. But I don't really like this playstyle because it makes you really passive. So I guess the second choice, if I'm not using the weapon inside, would be Spirited, where it increases my spirit by 2. It's good to have, it's a good resource to have, but I don't really rely on my spirit move that much, and since we're playing Samurai who got buffed, gaining spirit is not an issue. for Samurai. Just keep on staggering enemies. That's it. But yeah, I highly recommend Weapon Insight. Try to use the focus attacks more often if you can, if you're actually using this build. The third perk, and this is the GOAT, man. This is the GOAT. Hachiman Zeal is the GOAT. I think this is the best perk for Samurai's Ultimate because you get 60 seconds double stagger damage after you do an ult. Now, some people might say, oh, you can only do like 3 ults though. It's not that strong. But, dude, it's really strong if you want to focus on Fallen Lords or Berserkers. You can just keep on stun locking them over and over again without needing to worry that they can regain their posture and attack you even more. But yeah, Hachiman Zeal is really good. But alternatively, you can use Hachiman's Rage. This is not bad. If you're confident enough in staggering enemies, and you don't need the extra stagger, like I said before, I'm focusing on melee damage. That's why I need the double stagger damage buff from Hachiman Zeal. But if you're like not worried about staggering enemies, then yeah, be my guest and use the Hachiman's Rage. I don't know why people would use Hachiman's Gift. I tried using it, but I never found an effective way to use it. I feel like it's a bit gimmicky, so I wouldn't recommend this one, at least from my playstyle. Okay, so those are the techniques and the perks that I'm using, as well as the gears and the builds. Now let's move on to combat techniques. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know, but you can do switch attacks in this game, right? Now, the switch attacks, specifically for Samurai, is faster than anyone else. So let's say I'll switch to dual katana from... Okay, so I'll switch to katana. Let's say I switch to dual katana and then press triangle immediately. Look how fast that is. And then I switch back to katana. And then let's say I switch to Odachi, the heaviest weapon in the game. And it's really slow. It's famous for being slow but heavy hitting. And it's still really fast. Can you imagine that? Now let's compare that to, let's say, Ronin. Now Ronin's switch attack is not as fast as Samurai. Okay, let me just demonstrate. Switch to Odachi. Look how slow that was. Switch to Katana. And switch to dual Katana. Now maybe you wouldn't notice a difference, but if you try on your own, you will notice a difference. So I would highly recommend that you capitalize on that speed that Samurai has in terms of the switching speed. So if, let's say I'm in a real battle, yeah? And there's like a brute or like someone... Okay, let's say it's a brute, yeah? Let's say it's a brute. I can just keep on switching from Odachi, dual katana, Odachi. Yeah, so that's basically the flow. So switching between those two weapons, Odachi and dual katana, is the fastest damage-dealing attack, I think, in my opinion. So if you're fighting against like a boss or something, try to capitalize on those two switch weapon attacks. Also, I have to note that each weapon has their own uses in terms of the switch attacks. So let's say katana. So you see with the katana, there's like a stabbing motion. And if you played Ghost of Tsushima, and you remember that Stone Stance also has that stabbing motion, and that stabbing motion penetrates through enemies' guards, except shields. So let's say I'm fighting this guy. Okay. Notice how I can penetrate and stab through the guard. So the use of this attack is essentially just to get a quick blow on him. Get a quick jab at him, take a quick jab at him, and if someone's really low, like a Berserker or a Fallen Lord, and they just need one more hit, just keep in mind the Katana switch attack ignores enemies' guards. Now that's for Katana. As for Dual Katana, it's just a fast attack, you know? It's just a really fast attack, and it's a double attack too, since Dual Katana, so you hit it once and twice. It's just a good way to deal damage when they are staggered or something. You see? You see how the stagger meter goes up twice? It's because you hit him with the switch attack with both swords, so double stagger. As for Kusarigama, the samurai does that like circle motion with the Kusarigama. That's a quick way to create space in combat. And once you create that space, you can have a breathing room for a bit just to like gain your composure again and focus on the target that you want to kill first. That's for Kusarigama. As for Yari, Yari is the distance closing attack. So it's probably the attack that can aggro towards the enemies from far away. Let me show you. Now from that distance I can hit him with the Yari. Yep, I can hit him with the Yari. And if let's say I attack him from that distance using a katana. Nope, doesn't work. But with the Yari, it works. So if you're far away from the enemy, just keep in mind the Yari as a distance closer attack. As for Odachi, Odachi is unique because it can break through most stances, whether the enemy is using like sword, Kusarigama, it can break through it with the Odachi. You see that? And after you hit them with the one attack, you can just switch to the aligned weapon. So be sure to utilize the Odachi switch attack because it's a good way to build up stagger damage towards the enemy. Another thing that I want to highlight is combo cancelling. So combo cancelling is really important to make Samurai's gameplay flow really well. Let me show you how it's done. So combo cancelling means every weapon has their own combo limit, right? So for example, like Katana has a 3 hits, 3-hit combo. As for the Dual Katana, 5 hits combo. The Yari, 3 hits combo as well. Kusarigama, 4-hit combo. And the Odachi, 3-hit combo as well. So what we want to do is, before we reach that final hit in the combo, so for instance like the 3-hit combo from the Katana, before we hit the third hit, we press circle. So for instance like this. Combo, combo, circle. 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 Now, what this does is skip the long animation of the final hit, because the final hit of each weapon takes a long time. Like, it's a long animation. Like, during that process of winding up the 3rd hit with the Katana, I can sneak in 2 more hits if I do this, the combo cancelling. Same goes with the Odachi. Odachi, with the 3-hit combo, you cancel it at the 2nd combo. So 1, 2, cancel, 1, 2, cancel, 1, 2, cancel. Yari, same case. 1, 2, cancel, 1, 2, cancel, 1, 2, cancel. Now when I say cancel, it means pressing circle. Just without moving anywhere. Just press circle. So 1, 2, circle, 1, 2, circle, 1, 2, circle. Kusarigama, as we established before, is a 4-hit combo. So 1, 2, 3, circle, 1, 2, 3, circle, 1, 2, 3, circle, 1, 2, 3, circle. And the dual katana is 5 hits combo. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Circle 1, 2, 3, 4. Circle 1, 2, 3, 4. Circle 1, 2, 3, 4. Circle. The way I usually like have a clue if the dual katana combo is like on the 4th hit is when it does the swipe attack, upward swipe attack with the left hand. So when he does that swipe attack upwards, you press circle. Now in that way, you can become like proper a mincer, a meat mincer. You can just mince your enemies with your dual katana. But again, since I'm focusing my weapon damage on the katana, be sure to do the 2-hit combo cancel with the katana. Yeah, so that makes it much faster to do the combos. So keep in mind, combo canceling is not an a samurai exclusive thing. It's just an advanced technique that you can apply to any weapon. So it's a weapon-based thing. So you can apply this technique to your Ronin, to your Shinobi, to your Hunter as well, and making the melee battle flow a bit smoother. I did say before that with the perk that I'm using, with the techniques that I'm using, especially with the weapon insight, I said before that you should try to utilize the weapon insight perk as much as possible, which means aligning your weapon with the enemies and doing the hold triangle attacks. So the hold triangle for the katana is this upward slash, the Iaido stance. He does the Iaido stance first and then slash immediately. That's a focus attack for the katana. As for the dual katana, as you probably know, this is the famous thing, the famous combo that people are using and people are comfortable with. It's the flurry. As for the Yari, it's the kick that you have to hold down first. So if you hold it down for quite some time, you will go to this full throttle stance, and then if you release triangle, it'll do the kick. Now, the kick is not the efficient way to use Yari's focus attack. So if you're fighting against, let's say, Kusarigama, what you want to do is just hold triangle for a bit and then release. So it does that back hit with the Yari. And that's quick, and it only counts as one focus attack, but it adds up if you're fighting Kusarigama, enemies with Kusarigama. So let's say this. So I only need to do one focus attack with the katana. Now I'm aligning my weapon with the Kusarigama right here. And I do the backslash, and 2 hits, boom. 2 hits and it's staggered. As for the Kusarigama, now the Kusarigama's focus attack is probably my favorite because it is the area attack. This attack, it's really good to stagger shields, especially with the weapon inside perk. So try to utilize this as much as possible in fighting shields. As for the Odachi, since Odachi already has big stagger damage tied to its like weapon damage in general, I rarely use Odachi's focus attack because it doesn't do any damage unfortunately. See? It does a lot of damage against brutes, a lot of stagger damage, but doesn't do any health damage at all. So for brutes, I just like alternate between dual katana and Bodachi, like I showed before. But yeah, focus attack, very important. Try to utilize it as much as possible. Utilizing the focus attacks and the weapon swap attacks are key and are essential to becoming a really good samurai player. And the playstyle that I want to showcase to you guys is basically just me playing survival. But if you're watching until this far, thank you, and I just want to make a quick video and make a quick commentary about my build. And after this, I'm just gonna showcase my Nightmare Survival gameplay so you know how I play my samurai. And if you guys want a bit more in-depth explanation, I recommend you guys check out Batusai719's video about the way of the samurai. He got like a two-part of the video. One part is regarding like the builds and basics of samurai, and the second part is about the advanced combat techniques. So if you guys want to check that out, I'm gonna drop the link to Batusai's video down in the description for both of the videos. And yeah, that's it. You're not gonna hear from me again throughout the rest of the video, and enjoy the gameplay. Take care, guys.
クロードが一人倒れた。大勢の敵が息高らかにクロードたちのもとへ進む。神の計らい敵の勢い虚無の塾がクロードたちの邪魔をする。 敵がまた来る。
てめえはここで終わりだ。
恐るべき敵が近づいている。
終わりか。すまな。
大勝負の時が迫る。神の加護を得られる手立てが増えた。さらなる敵犬の少量がつきまとう。
中毒だ。無造ども。
クロードたちへの一助として神は光の柱を解き放った。敵の遠兵が押し寄せ、どうやら敵は精鋭をよこしたらしい。
楽しめた。
神の恵みによって命をまとう手段が増した。クロードたちは戦支度です。敵の遠兵、得体の知れない呪詛が道を遮る。
太陽の力だ。私は諦めろ。もう開会。
クロードたちは次の戦いに臨む。精鋭がクロードたちに迫る。クロード一人では勝ち目がない。クロードたちは難敵との一戦に備える。新たな敵、まがまがしい虚無の呪符が立ちふさがる。 クロードが一人だ。膝を犬の式神という味方を得た。これぞ獅子にひれだ。敵の勢いは止まらない。 手強い敵が迫り来る。クロードたちは生き延びた。